Okay, cool. Let's go live. We click twice on go live. All right, okay. So we start the event number 27 for the audio event on LinkedIn. Call it From iSketch to AI Catch and 3D Revolution. All right, cool. It looks like the list is growing, which means people on the audience can hear me. Al, big Al, thanks. You know the rules, so I'm asking for a reaction or an emoji to make sure you guys you can hear me. So it looks like you guys you can hear me, which is awesome. Perfect. So for this event, I like to have some technical things discussed first. So for people which they want to come here with me on the stage, like Ernesto, please click on the hand on the right side and I can bring you on the stage with me here. Tomorrow also we're gonna have a super cool event, the event number 40 for AICC, Artificial Intelligence Content Creators. Big Al also, it's one of the hosts with me, but tomorrow will be really special. It's gonna be our first live event with AR Hero and Brett. The trick is over there in the invite. It's also a Google Meet link. Make sure you guys you are aware of that because you need to click on that Google Meet event. I'm really excited about tomorrow one. It's gonna be live, so we're gonna have a lot of cool stuff. Share it over there. And the other thing which I want to mention again for people in the audience, this is an event number 27 now. So I'm doing this for more than half a year. Is actually split it kind of in three parts: the innovation, the news, and the 3D. And we're going to touch on those. And with me here, I have also two invites, Robin and Ernesto. So let's start with some quick introduction. My name is Sandu Baciu. I'm the host for this event. By trade, I'm a civil engineer, but I'm really passionate about the AI, and I want to share that with all the world because there are a lot of cool stuff which we can do with AI, and it's all positive in my opinion. Robin, you would like to say a few words about yourself, please?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining in. I see a lot of familiar faces, and I'm anxious to hear some remarks from everyone. My background is primarily in social media and marketing and advertising. That's how I started, and I have over 20 years experience, and the addition of artificial intelligence now has just been a boom for my creativity and everything that I do.
Yeah, thanks. And Ernesto, would you like to have a few words about yourself, please?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Sandu, once again, thank you for having me. Now, my name's Ernesto. I'm an active architect, but I am very interested in the integration of AI tools and evolving technologies in the field of architecture and design.
And we have a lot of them, which is really cool. Okay.
All I got this week has been nuts.
Yes, no, as I said, this discussion, this event is got three parts. The first one will be innovation, the second news, and third one will be 3D revolution. So kind of let's jump directly on the innovation side. So as usually I'm thinking, what will be a cool introduction for the innovation? And I have so many news and so many ways of being innovative, but the big one which I want to share with people, also related to the name of the event, From iSketch to AI Catch, is the fact that people think it's everything done by AI. Well, innovative ways is actually just integrated the AI, and actually you can do with AI probably only a portion of the final results which you want. So basically, you can use text to image like Midjourney, DALL-E, Musavir, Creamai, there are a ton of them, Leonardo and so on. So you can use that to obtain from text or even a reference, as I'm doing. I'm doodling all the time and I'm upscaling that, and I'm obtaining from text or a doodle with a prompt an AI image, and that AI image you can use it further, and there are different ways how to use it. You can use it combining with classical way in a certain way, or you can make it 3D as I prefer. But prior to jump to the 3D, you might want to have a depth map, and this is a very old technology. You can do that with Photoshop since probably 90s. And that is giving you a depth of the pixel gray value, basically. So with that map, you can actually go on softwares like Blender, and you can import that, and you can add a height to the vertices on a mesh, which means you can do a 3D. So that will be a really innovative way. Again, the technique it's actually old, but what is new is the fact that the reference image, actually you can do it with AI. And again, it doesn't mean everything needs to be done in Midjourney, or it's actually the workflow, and that is what people need to remember, because there are many ways of using AI. And again, you can use only a portion of it, and after that, based on what's your final goal, to make a movie or to get a character or a 3D, you can use that, and that's gonna change the way of people are doing the work, because AI is really fast. So again, that was a quick introduction on my side with the innovation, but I will ask my invites. Robin, what other ways of using AI in innovative ways? If you want to share some experience from your side.
Sure. From my background in social media, like I said, typically what I like to do with posting is you create an image with the AI generator, either Missavir or Midjourney, are the two that I use primarily. And I will create one or two characters. I'll combine them in Photoshop, and I also use Canva, which I think is a great little tool. I call it a little tool, but it's very robust for social media posting. And then you can add text, or the kind of things that you want to get across in your social media post. So I'm using the artificial intelligence for an image, and then I'm putting it together in a graphic design kind of way in either Photoshop or Illustrator or even Canva. And that's how I like to make my creations.
Yeah, and actually kind of creates your own style, because you have a little bit more control. One of the biggest things with AI is having some control over the randomness, which AI have. And by the way, I forgot to mention, because we are saying so many cool things here, I am actually recording the event, and at the end we're going to post the record of the event in the comments. But the other thing is, in the comments we have really cool links to different discussions which we have here, software news and so on. So I think whatever we discuss here, I recommend it to put it in the comments, because definitely that helps. Cool stuff, Robin. I agree with you. It's good to use also the old-fashioned way with Photoshop and combining those images. I think is really cool. Ernesto, on your side, what other innovative ways we have, especially on the architectural field?
Well, I would save my excitement for the news, because a lot has been evolving. But right now the best thing is the future possibilities of integrating Gaussian splatting for 3D generation. Our search is the 2D to 3D kind of holy grail that's been kind of just tingling in front of us. And there's a lot of new apps out there that are, being rolled out. But in my own research, and I've shared a little bit of that with you, Sandu, and I'll share with everyone, there's just the huge potential now that Gaussian splatting is a thing, to be able to condense so much information that can be easily processed by a model in real time to generate not necessarily 3D meshes, but enough data, point cloud data, that now we're able to really generate a lot more. I'm super excited right now. I'm sure you guys can hear it in my voice, because really it's just been like a rush of a couple of weeks of kind of putting a lot of little pieces together. And we're I know there's other people parallel to me that are seeing like a very clear path from 2D to 3D, generative 3D. It's amazing that we're almost there enough to put in one image and get like really robust three-dimensional data with all sorts of sides and features that can really be manipulated in software like Blender or any 3D software of your kit liking.
Yes, I agree. And many times, just remember, when people started with say Midjourney, and the version become more effective on the visual side. Version 1 or 2 or even 3 at one time, they were not really powerful. They were more like pioneering. But let's say with version 3, the renders, if you want to do like an interior for a house as architecture, the render you can always say, oh my god, this is done with 3D Studio Max. That means they will look so 3D. And logically, you kind of think, well, if AI can do that using the references, the image references, then it's logically, it must be a way to extract that mesh in a form or another. And I agree with you. We're gonna talk here. There are ways to do it. There are tricks to do it. Could be 2.5, halfway, and after that, could be directly 3D. And the 3D world, it's by itself a whole discussion, because it could be point cloud, could be meshes, and so on. So the definition of 3D, it's a little bit more softer. It's not only another dimension on space on the z-axis, but it's also the way of representing 3D. And the other thing which is important is how to get there, from an image, because there are some constraints. If you have an image, you have only one point of view. So, the question is how you're going to get the back, and therefore there are other software which they try to kind of identify the back or reproduce the back, or algorithmically trying to think how the back should look like. So that's what CMS is doing, is basically taking an image and make you directly 3D. But you can use a 2D image and kind of use the depth map, and after that on the back you can manually adjust it. So I think it's really cool one, and if you like, we can jump on the news. There are a ton of news as well. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, it's just the potential to generate that back face that's hidden through Gaussian splatting. It's fucking mind blowing, especially for depth maps, because now we can generate depth maps of things that don't exist. So it's filling in those gaps rather quickly. No, with regards to news, I don't know if you saw, but just right now, Runway released a new version of, I think it's their Gen 2, the text to video. And again, it's the jump from like, those kind of somewhat looking like real things to actual crisp definition. I'll post a link. Their CEO just produced a quick nature documentary kind of looking thing, and you could almost believe that it's actual photographic video. It's been nuts.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
That's
No, go ahead, Robin. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, but yes, that is very exciting for me, definitely, because I've used Runway to different results. Some were really interesting and cool, and some were just terrible. So I'm anxious now to try it out again.
It jumped. It just went from, and if that's for Gen 2, I can only imagine what's going to happen with Gen 1. So, I mean, there's, I don't know if you guys know Neil Leach, who he is. He's an architectural theorist, and he speaks a lot about AI in the field. And he has a very beautiful phrase about what's going on right now. And it's the fact that right now we're in the silent movie era of all these tools.
Correct.
So it's there's a lot of people that are coming in that feel like that, it's a little too late. Midjourney's already played out, and image generation, GANs is out of the question. Everything's diffusion models, but we're so early that anyone can jump in, and it's the perfect time to explore.
It's only the tip of the iceberg.
Right now.
Yeah. Yes, it's only the tip of the iceberg. In my opinion, I think we cannot even imagine how powerful this is, especially when it goes on the 3D realm. But prior to jump so exciting on all this, I want to mention also, still on the innovating a little bit, and I'll jump on the news. The technological side, basically the hardware, the software, they start developing so fast. You kind of mentioning was the Gaussian splattering. Previously we cannot do that because we didn't have the infrastructure. That means the computers they require a lot of data processing, and the processing itself, even the hardware itself, it was not able to do that. So the optimization came from two aspects: one on the physical capabilities of the technology, and the second, right now, it's also on the software side, where they kind of mold it and I'm seeing that being extremely important. I posted also in the comments few more things, like the wearable technology. Right? Everybody thinks, oh yeah, no, phones looks no, phones right now, they are like bricks. They are so rigid. They have to be flexible. One thing. The second thing, they kind of need to be wearable. We're gonna see other kind of softwares because the technology is so powerful, so fast. You can minimize, basically you go to the micro level, and you're not gonna have big things. Just imagine, like in 19th a phone, it was like a big brick, and right now it's the size of a phone, which is more like twice the size of a credit card. But imagine that the phone is gonna be like a foldable credit card with OLED, and after that you can have something else which cannot be even as a phone. You can wear it like glasses or whatever. So technology is going to catch up also. We're going to see more things on that aspect, plus software wise we're going to have also augmented reality. We're going to start seeing and overlaying, maybe like the glasses in front of you, different realities, and that is going to be mind-blowing. And the other thing, which kind of we go on the news now, we could see, technologically speaking, the software advancement, how AI is helping developing also softwares. Just an example, ChatGPT can write scripts now. So that is super, super cool. I think that is very interesting to see how it's going to be in 1 year. With us also we have Joy. And Joy, thanks for joining us. And again, we can talk about the news. I have a ton of news as well. So we'd like to have your feedback.
Yeah, I just wanted to, hi everyone, sorry. I just wanted to add to that too. You are going to have a lot of hardware coming. Hopefully a lot of flex technology is going to finally arrive. So yes, we might break out of those bricks and boxes on our heads eventually. Sooner than we thought.
Yeah, no, super
I just wanted
cool.
to say hello.
Yeah, no. Okay, on the news, Demis, where should I start? Okay, I will start with no news first. Midjourney did not release 5.3 or 6. Okay, that's behind. So I'm expecting Midjourney to come with something shortly.
But did you see their new style feature?
Yeah, I kind of. Maybe you can talk about that. Yes, and also they release a web version of kind of the interface. I think they are preparing big web transfer kind of stuff. So they do have the web version beta, which you can use. It's pretty clean actually. So I kind of like that. So that was one thing. Musavir, a lot of cool stuff coming from Musavir, and I'm really one of the beta testers. I'm really impressed about them. They already have several features in the toolkit. I think the consistent avatar is going to come soon as well. That will be extremely interesting to see how an avatar could be shown on different angles. Again, on my side, I was able to kind of, through the prompt, to be able to get same character from multiple points of view. So here is the trick how to do it. You can add comments like, I want to walk around. So when you put the comment as walk around, it's understanding that kind of he wants multiple views. And after that, in the prompt also, you can specify, I want a view from front, from back, from side. And again, like any AI render, sometimes they might give you two double side, or it's not always 100% as in the prompt, but in general is very consistent. So that is another thing which I really like about Musavir. I know, Robin, you use Musavir as well. What other kind of things you like about the software, or you don't like? But we can talk. Good, bad, ugly.
No, I was one of the beta testers as well, and I have like 52 folders full of generations that I've done with Musavir, and my favorite thing about it is the quality of the humans, the faces. I've got a lot of neat monsters as well, but the faces for me are just so realistic and expressive, and for any any of the ages that I choose, any of the styles that I choose. And I also love their 3D choice that they have. You know, they have the realistic and the pixel and the 3D choice. I didn't use it first. I wasn't very interested in it. And then I decided to try out one of my prompts, use it in the 3D choice. And I really like that. I think it's very fun. It gives some really neat superheroes and cyborgs, and they look to me very, very fun.
Yeah, no,
It's fun to use them.
definitely. Go ahead.
Sandu and Robin, I have a question for you guys because I haven't been able to try it. Is there seed control in Musavir? At least can you,
It's coming.
hone in on seeds? It's coming. It's not
It's
there yet.
coming.
Okay.
He's got a reference as an image which you can use, but we talked in the previous event, and that's what Arslan's mentioning. Is coming in a form or another. Is coming. With us also we have Trini. We'll give you the word in a second. I just want to add a new style which Musavir added right now. They have the classic ones. They started with like 5 or 6, and they added another one recently as well, which looks more like a logo. They call it logo, but you can use that for making 3D stuff. Then it's kind of like a black and white, but I tested that and it was really working very well to get depth map out of it. So I found that extremely interesting. Trini, welcome to our discussions here. So we'd like to have your feedback as well.
Hi, Sandu.
Hello.
Hi, Robin. Hi, Sandu.
Hi.
Hi, Ernesto.
Good to see you.
How are you guys doing? All good? Yeah. Hi. So, guys, the past 2 weeks had been a very energizing and interesting journey for us, which I really wanted to share with all of you guys who are actively sharing a lot of stuff in the AI space, in the generative AI space. A lot of new things are coming up and all these things. And I wanted to share a real good news with all of you guys. It is a very, very big thing in part of the globe, that is India. So my company has recently bagged the complete, a complete creative mandate for one of the biggest FMCG brand in the US. Okay. And the best part, which all of you will love, is that it has to be AI generated stuff, which is a very, very big thing. And this is being followed in India. So we will be the full service creative mandate for that US brand in India. So they have launched the brand in India, and the entire thing will be AI generated. So that is a big, I think it is a win for all of us over here who have been actively seeking a lot of AI based stuff, continuously doing which can be based for, and now we are actually able to use AI in the real life situation, which I think most of us really want to do. Okay, means creating learning AI is one different part, and then actually using it in a real life situation for real job, for real client, is something different. So I think all of you will be very happy to hear that news, that we will be using real AI to do real stuffs. That is one big thing. Another thing which I was hearing Robin in the process of what Robin is actually doing for her social media stuff, which is extremely commendable. Nowadays, we use a particular process. I think Ad Creative AI, I don't know how many of you guys actually has put your hands into that particular software. It is an extremely important automation AI tool which can actually take care of your entire social media process, right from strategizing, visualizing, creating, combining, and publishing, and getting the result out of your entire marketing mix. Okay, which is a very important. So if it has ChatGPT and everything inbuilt in it, so it will give you all sorts of title, subtitle, captions, body copy, images, templates, all sorts of things, and then you can actually plan it and publish it across all your social media platforms. That is a extremely important aspect for people who also want to do a large number of automation in the social media space. So
Shridev,
a very big news for you, so you can also really give it a try.
Shridev, can you share a link to that in the comments for the?
Absolutely, I'll do that. It is Ad Creative AI, Ad Creative AI. So you can search for it. It is an extremely powerful tool for most of us people who are into the social media space, ad space. So you can just create the entire bunch of things you give. So it is developed at one go and then distribute across multiple platforms across your ad spaces.
No, very,
It's an
very
extremely
interesting.
powerful tool.
Yes, definitely. Uh, the,
Yeah, I'm very interested in checking that out, Shahid. I do have a question. So if you have multiple clients, would you be able to post for multiple clients across and use the one
You
platform?
can do that. You can do that. So what it asks you is a very important question which you have asked, Robin. So what Ad Creative AI asks us that which are the brands you are using. So you can define a brand. You can actually at the beginning of your setup, you can actually define the brand colors, the brand fonts, the brand logo, everything. Okay, so you can have multiple brands. You can do it for multiple brands. So based on what account you are taking. So you can take 3, you can take 5 of your brands as per your subscription. Okay, so and you define that thing, and based on those ads you can actually create ads. They are all will be different for your brand that you have defined. The templates will be different, and you can add a template, you can delete templates if you don't like a particular template in that thing. So you can do a lot of combination, permutation, and you generate, and it will in one click it will generate thousands of templates for you. Then you select what will go in the stories, what will go as reels, what will go as post, what will go as carousel. You decide, and then you select your particular mode of delivery, and you do the automation, and you can sleep and the automation can run at the same time.
yeah.
Very good.
Actually, on the news, kind of similar. I want to mention Viscom. Trinity, if you want to mute for a
Yes,
second.
Viscom.
Yeah, Viscom released the Workbench, and the Workbench is kind of doing the same thing. Well, in principle, it's not doing the same, but
Yeah, yes, and there are various softwares which do these things, but there are very few who are actually professional level, okay,
Yes,
which actually
yes.
solves a lot of your problems. So there will be some softwares which are good to have, and then there will be softwares which you cannot do without. So those you can understand the basic difference between the two.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
but
No.
I can attest to the use of Viscom in the professional field is amazing. It's one of my best tools right now to turn sketches into amazing illustrations, or it's just an amazing way to ideate from your original sketches, in much better than some other ones. Which I
Right, because there are some kind of categories. And back to what Ernesto is saying, Midjourney, if you want to have like artistic flavor and that, the kind of a lot of randomness, you want to be able to be wild, yeah, that probably goes. And Musavir, I would say probably in the same category. But when you want to stay fidel, like I want a sketch, I want to look like my sketch. Now I don't want too much of the randomness over there. I would say probably Viscom and Pronea probably are the right answers for that. And I agree with you, Ernesto. I tested that, and for somebody in the industrial design, I prefer more Viscom because it's got less randomness and more true to the sketches which you come with, but you still want to have some artistic rendering on it. So I think that is important, because I do see AI having different customizations and going per different kind of industries, and I kind of expect a lot of the AI leading platforms to kind of adapting that, because it's not a tool matching everything. It's actually the best tool for what you need, exactly as Trinity said. I want something which I cannot live without. I need to give me exactly what I need. So that is an interesting way of looking to how the AI industry is kind of developing in the future. Without talking about regulation, I can talk about that too. There are news on that too. Here in US, actually, we have a presidential executive order to regulate AI. But again, people are doing the right thing anyway. They will put safeguards. That's the reason why they take care of their products. So I think those will be addressed in a form or another anyway. So, but yeah, Viscam, really cool stuff. Ernesto, we want to talk about Luma AI. They have news too.
Absolutely, and Spatial too.
Yeah, Spatial too. Yes.
Yeah, I think Spatial just released a text to 3D beta, and it's pretty neat. It's small assets that you can generate, but the fidelity of the models is pretty nice. You obviously still have to tweak the heck out of the results, but it's a step up. Now, Luma with the integration, and also Polycam with, because again, back to Gaussian splatting, photogrammetry is dead. And I only say that respectfully because I still use it, but the advancement with this new technology to be able to condense and manage data, highly rich three-dimensional data. I mean, we're closing the gap between NURBS and the virtual through synthesis. It's freaking cool.
Yeah, and just think ahead, because again, hardware was a constraint. You cannot have crazy billions of stuff in a game engine, or actually in a regular game, because you kind of limit to the hardware. Right now you're gonna have this crazy amount of detail, and also I kind of expect the metaverse itself to be changed, and even game industry to change, because you have this new technology which will allow you to have really interesting stuff, really interesting. And so go ahead.
It's just the richness and depth that you can deliver in. I mean, it's essentially like a voxel, a unit of space with all sorts of dimensional data, colored data, at a very lean cost to calculations. It really is astounding when you're looking at it on the software and the hardware, because it streamlines so many processes that were heavily computational derivatives.
Yeah, we kind of switched to 3D, but I like that, obviously. I just want to mention, actually, we should mention, so from 2D to 2.5, with the depth map, you can use actually two softwares, which are, in my opinion, really good. The first one will be LeaPix. What LeaPix is doing, you take an image from whatever software you generated, Midjourney, Musavir, DALL-E 3, and so on. But you take it, and when you put it in your software, and by the way, it can be on the desktop or could be on the phone. You can do that on the phone, which is important. And when you post that image, which is free, you can have a set of, let's say, adjustments. So basically, they will give you the depth map automatically, there's no problem. And after that, to have that movement of the camera, you have a set of changes, which you can do it side to side, up, down, round, or making like a wave. So that's one thing. The amplitude, you can change it. So basically you have kind of a set of controls. So what that means? It means that if you have an image, a 2D image of a car, and the car on the back is got a character, and behind the character is the real background to a garage. When you're gonna have those adjustments done with layer picks, the car moves a little bit left and right. In the front, let's say a set of drawings. In the second set of drawings, that person again is can be able to move a little bit left and right. And on the back, the background probably stays a little bit in the same place, but still can move a little bit. And it's give you that illusion of having 3D. It's not 3D. It's just multiple layers, and the generative fill kind of fills the parts of the layer where you kind of move left and right. So it's a way of doing. Similar to this, it's Zoe depth, but just to get the depth map, and after that, with that depth map, you can play even on Blender. You can do something similar as well. So that will be
Sander,
a way. Yeah, go ahead.
have you been able to experiment with Kubrick?
I heard about it. I did not use it directly, but I as you probably know, I was trying the other ones. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I will send you I'll send you Pinar's contact. You gotta, because they have a feature, a 2.5D in painting that is amazing. I mean, their purpose is mostly for cinematic, backdrops and that kind of thing. But then again, for architectural renderings and for general 3D environments and world building, it's become a really cool new asset that I've been playing with. And again, their in painting is phenomenal.
No, that's definitely, I'm interested there. Yes, I like to see it. And the other thing about this fake 3D, I must mention also CapCut. And with CapCut, Trini also, maybe you can mention the other ones. I know there are other software which can do something similar, but CapCut is doing kind of the same thing. The caveat is even if CapCut has the desktop option and the phone option, that 3D Pro and 3D let's say motion feature which you can add to a picture, it's only on the phone. But there's kind of the same effect, and I posted actually on my post, I did a bunch of those. So that will be a way which you go kind of 2D to 2.5. The other thing which you can have, it's 2D directly through 3D, and here is you and me, Ernesto, we kind of trying to find different ways. The software which we tested is CSM, Common Sense Machine. It's giving you the wrap, again, the mesh, it's low poly mesh. From what I understand, they can do also a little bit higher mesh, but it requires more hardware, and usually that goes with the pro level, which you kind of need to pay if you want to have that done. But here is where the branch stuff. I did find a bunch of open source the softwares like Stable Dream Fusion is one of them, or 123 is another one. And actually I did a post with those which I found them as open source. However, on the open source, you need to have a little bit of programming skill. You need to use PyChat or other ones. So, some of them they work, some of them they crash. But again, it's an open source. It's pioneering. Not for quite everybody, but some basic skill for programming, you can probably run some of those. And I do see a lot of those are coming. Obviously, in parallel, we have text to 3D. There are a ton of software text to 3D, and they can solve the problem. I just post one with some characters, and in the comments over there in my post with the characters, I just post like another probably 7, 8, 10 versions which you can do from 2D directly to 3D. However, there is a trick here. When you're gonna create from text to 3D, either you're gonna get something which is predefined in a database. So if you ask a sword, they will give you a sword, which is actually an object which you can have already in a database, or it can be created using like Minecraft, tiny boxes which they look like a shape of that sword thing. So over there I'm seeing some developments, but I do not see the control. That means if you want an asset by itself, yeah, you get it. But if you want to have like a full environment, like in Midjourney, when you do a render, you're gonna have architecture with cars and whatever characters, and you kind of want to do that. You can do it. We can take each individual one, and I even posted in the comments here a workflow how to do it. But you need to take one by one and create them in Blender, saying, and you do the animation in Blender or in a game engine. So there are ways to do it. Maybe Ernesto, on your side, we can talk a little bit more about the 3D. Do you want to touch on architecture with CoolX?
Yeah, we can talk about CoolX, yes. But I'm just laughing because what you described, that process of kind of bringing in an image with a matching depth map, and then kind of like tracing that 3D, and then another angle of the same. That's exactly what my studio is kind of working with. Now, it's coding through Grasshopper, because what essentially we've been doing is recording the human process of how you would do that and discern the faces that are missing, and then reverse engineer that process into a Python then Grasshopper code that's now helping us create those generative models with a few images. So that's my whole book of my research is trying to translate what humans do to create 3D from a 2D image by a computer. And it's so simple now with C# and Python code, because you can literally translate the step-by-step process. Now, the big gaps is what happens in the human brain, like how you discern things, and that's the big thing that, thank you, machine learning is helping us fill in that gap.
Yeah, well, the process is a little bit deeper, because even in the human brain, the humans usually they associate shapes and gray value shadows to a form, and that form is during time you kind of recognize an apple. When you see the shape of an apple, okay, it looks like an apple. But that is what they try to do with AI as well. But the thing is, AI could be diluted, the machine learning process could be alterated, and we could see with ChatGPT, thumbs up, thumbs down, and people doesn't like the answer and they put the thumbs down, and after that it's not the ChatGPT becoming dumber, as a lot of people they were saying at one time. No, it's actually it gets disrupted, or the information gets corrupted, and therefore it's give you the information based on what you like to see, and that's another thing. So again, right now we have also this Nightshade. I'm not sure if you saw it. It's like a poison to the AI for protecting different things. Again, it's kind of the same principle. They try to corrupt the information, but I'm not sure how that is going to go in time. We'll see. That will be interesting to see how those things will evolve. So yeah. All right. CoolX. I didn't see too much news on their side. I kind of expected to see an update on their side too. I didn't see it.
Well, have you seen One U's latest conversation? I'll post it through what's the World Digital Futures World. I think that's the company or whatever, the conglomerate that they call it. Because she's been working a lot directly with specific companies in China, but there was a really wonderful conversation that happened just a few weeks ago, and her new merger with Zaha Hadid through Michael Schumacher and even Coop Himmelblau, there is something in the works there. Again, unfortunately, because of the Chinese to American barriers that exist in business, there's a lot we don't get access to here that's happening there. And honestly, it reflects in the architecture that we see in Shenzhen versus what we see in our biggest metropolises here in the Americans. There's a lot happening there that's behind literally the Iron Curtain, but hopefully and fortunately there's conversations happening where a lot of that will be released, and and we'll be able to see it. But they're so close to actually generating a 2D to not just 3D mesh, but DWGs
Oh.
and OBJs.
No, that's
So,
perfect.
no,
Yeah, yeah. That is actually the yeah
They're gonna be putting out CAD, straight up CAD.
file. Yeah.
Texas, so it's freaking nuts.
I kind of expected that. The only thing which I see also, like, okay, is the question between having something open source and having something private. That means the big architectural firms, it's absolutely normal to have their own private kind of AI model trained, and after that use it for their own benefits. That is, they invest on it. You cannot say too much about it.
And the thing is, in China, that private public model is pretty much one big thing, because it is the government is very much influencing and part of it, so it ties both sides. So her constraint in being able to just release it as a feature, because even though it's a private company over there, it's still, private companies still have to kind of fall into the CCP's kind of order of how things are released. So,
Yeah,
it's the world. But,
yeah, it is.
But the most amazing part is that the world is being tied together. Like, I mean, my conversations with China happen in, 2 a.m., but, they're happening.
Yeah, no. And again, this is only the first step, because at the end, or the next step, because it's not going to be an end, it's going to be evolving in time. Right now, we are talking only taking the 3D models, kind of same as Midjourney is doing with images, but right now we do it with the 3D assets, and we create those awesome stuff, which I hope they will become, as you said, DVG, OBJ, which is actually the format for the 3D model itself, but it's for the CAD 3D model. That means it's not like a scan as CMS is doing, which gives you a mesh. But if you scan with CMS, a cube is not going to be a cube. It's going to be something like a blob with wavy shapes, but the corners of the cube, they are a little bit organic. It's not going to be sharp cube, straight lines. And that is where I see the quality of the work coming. So that's the next step. We need to have more qualitative 3D rendering and 3D assets obtained with AI. But the next after I'm seeing far more important, in the sense that with AI we can see different already existing physical assets. Take car industry. We know the wheels have this dimension. We know the engines or the batteries, they have those dimensions. In a massive database, all those specs, characteristics could be loaded in a platform, and from there it can, like a Lego, it can combine all this, and suddenly you can have something look like a Tesla train chain, and the interior like a Lamborghini, and front look like I don't know, Toyota, and so on, because you're gonna have all those cool real world assets having the bridge done with AI. And that's engineering wise, because I'm engineering. As engineer, for me, that is the super cool stuff, and also close the gaps for the 3D revolution. Because at the end, whatever we do, augmented reality, or at the end is still a physical object, a physical equipment, robot, or something which can be used to physically do something. And also with us we have Michael. Michael would like to have some feedback from you as well.
Well, I am not a 3D expert. I'm strictly a 2D guy. But anyway.
But good discussion. I hope I didn't.
But it's a very interesting discussion. So, yeah, I wanted to give a little pitch for my product, PicGen AI. We're trying to understand our users better. We're getting a lot of users, and we're getting a lot of feedback about the tool. And, we're starting to look at it as a complete kit, which has all the tools you need to generate AI images all in one place.
Super cool.
And I'm sorry.
No, I said it's super cool.
And we help you craft your prompt. We help you expand your ideas using ChatGPT. We hope to extend the ChatGPT integration in a manner that's somewhat similar to what they're doing with their DALL-E. We're waiting anxiously for DALL-E 3, the API, and so we can put it into our product. And we find that the tool is very good to easily generate logos. A lot of architects and interior designers are using it for visualization. We're getting fashion people for costumes and for different fashion lines, jewelry design, web assets, and so on. And the big thing also in education and in community type settings is that we have a single sign up and a single sign on. So if you were a community organization and you wanted to offer this type of these type of services to your community, you'd have to go sign up for each of the different accounts, manage each one of them, and pay for each one of them separately. We put it all together. We give you that. We give you a history, a searchable gallery that you can use again and again, and so on and so forth. So we hope that's a compelling idea. We're also investigating integrating the various LoRa's that SDXL provides in the open source. I think a lot of people looking for that, and it's another sticking point of integration because they're all over the place. You have to be able to go into Hugging Face or some of the other tools to try to find the one that's useful for you. And I think we can provide a nice service where you can get a preview of the LoRa, you can get access to the various LoRa's, see which one is the best for what you're trying to do. So stay tuned, more to come.
Yeah, no doubt. Statistically speaking, you kind of wrap 4 products maybe in one place: Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, DALL-E 3. I think you have DALL-E 3 as well, correct?
Oh, well, we will. We have DALL-E 2 still.
Okay.
Okay.
I was just curious. Yeah, go ahead.
ChatGPT. Yes,
and ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I was just curious. From all those 3, which one the user they kind of jump first? Did they like to have more examples, so they go toward ChatGPT, or what is the trend on your side?
Well, it's Midjourney.
Okay, it's Midjourney. Okay, so Midjourney still has got the lead. Okay.
Yeah, they have the mind share. I mean, it's changing. I hope they have more competition, but they're still the leader in terms of the image quality and the adherence to the prompt that you're giving it.
No, it's good to know.
So, yeah, I must say that's the case. But and we're working well with the service. There's some technical challenges, but it's working quite well now. So
yeah, cool. With us also we have Vigal. Thanks, Vigal, to come with us here on stage. Maybe we can talk about tomorrow's event a little bit more.
Yes, Sandhu, thanks. Tomorrow event is not only going to be live, it's going to be our first live video event. And it's going to be not only a video event, it's going to be an interactive event because we have Brant Hinman from AR Hero who's going to be launching his platform on our show tomorrow. And so there's been a lot of interest in it, and I think people are going to enjoy it. They need to be able to have their phone or tablet with a QR code reader so that they can actually watch things in augmented reality in their room or on their desktop. So I'd like to see everybody come tomorrow, and should be fantastic.
Yes, and just again in the comments, I posted the links to the event. And again, a reminder: the event is through LinkedIn, but the video and the whole event is actually through Google Meet, where we're gonna have, as Al mentioned, the video for the first time, and that's the event number 40. So, and it was started with John and Christine as well,
Right.
but
It's not going to be having a join button like you do with an audio event. You just literally click on the link and it'll take you to it. It will say that the event is live now, but the thing to do is just to click on the link.
yeah, no, cool stuff for tomorrow. Always, it's interesting to know what tomorrow's bring us. That's for sure. We still have 5 minutes. I'm just curious. We kind of talk a lot about 3D, but I still have few more news. Blockade Labs. It's a software, and I posted in the links, where you can use to do an environment. So if you want to just do a sketch, basically there is a software over there, this Blockade Labs, which you can go over there, and with a pen you can have a really rough sketch. You can make some doodling, saying, okay, this looks like a house, this looks like a table, this is an alley. And after that, when you do the prompt, with the prompt you can generate similar to Midjourney, like an environment, but it's actually in 3D, and you can rotate it. It's a single point of rotation, so basically you are stationary. You're not gonna walk around like in Metaverse, but you can have this panoramic spinning all around. I think that is interesting too. I tested, yeah, it works, but I kind of not be able to export that, saying in Blender, and do other stuff with that particular environment. So it's kind of like a standalone.
Well, actually,
yeah, go ahead. You succeed?
Sandra, you can export the image out as a whatever they call it. When you unfold that 3D sphere.
Yeah, but
dimensional. Okay, you
the
can
panorama.
export that essentially as a 3D panorama, and
Yeah.
you can bring it into Unreal Engine and use it as your own background. Now, what I've been able to do is you can do a depth map on that, and then impose the depth map on your camera filter, so you can create a 3-dimensional field of that field that you did with Blockade Labs.
Right. So basically, you do the wrap around, and you can add some depth to it, right? So yeah, ton of application for this as well. Game engine, obviously, you do like a tiny game, but what I could see there were some limitations, in the sense that it's kind of one point of view, but as Ernesto said, definitely you can export it and create your own world in Blender or other software, basically any other gaming engine.
Yeah,
right.
and you have a little bit of movement, but again, it's the early stages, so
Right.
We should be excited about those little gestures that we can do. Like we were pointing out to Lumas and those abilities to kind of just take a 2D image and just shift it a little bit. Oh man, that's exciting.
Yeah, no doubt. And kind of, since we're on the game engines, we should mention Metascan. I did a post comparing different scanning technology, and Metascan is actually a product coming with Unreal. So the guys, they did a really good job on optimizing the textures, and again, it's not kind of Gaussian splatting, it's slightly different, but they are optimizing to have ton of those in the game engine. And on top of that, from what I could see, and actually this is not quite a new, because it's a little bit 1 month old news. The Unreal Engine is free for people which they want to use it, but I know they try to do also some commercial licenses, so you can use that for different applications. So if you want to do a metaverse or stuff like that, I think this is a smart move, because the next is the 3D. You know, we're gonna see a lot of stuff in a year. For instance, we're gonna have a lot of people creating their own assets and creating their own stuff, same as they do images right now with Midjourney. Guess what? This is gonna be the next level. You're gonna have it as a 3D, and that opened the gate to be more creative on multiple aspects. You know, you can do 3D printing, you can do, again, at the end, whatever we do with AI and softwares is gonna become real. That means physically real, robots and, you know, stuff, tools which you can use and make overall a better world. So that's what I'm saying, at least, you know, and it's coming fast. It's coming really, really fast.
Well, the latest version of iOS 17, whatever, now has a really good native capture for 3D objects. That with something like AR code, you can produce, augmented reality objects of real objects in like a second with
Correct.
our iPhones and our tablets, and that's just. I mean, the potential of that to be a capture, I think most people don't even understand, and you know, that's where we're here. We got to wake up people to the fact that these tools are there. They're in your hand. If you have the latest generation phone, you have an amazing machine with an incredible LiDAR. So if you want to capture reality, now's the time.
Yeah, actually, LiDAR on iPhones, they appear with iPhone 12. But it was the older version of LiDAR. So if you want to have something cool, buy from iPhone Pro. It must be an iPhone Pro 13 and up, 13, 14, 15. And I'm almost sure more are coming. On the Android side, they do not have yet the LiDAR, but there are some bypasses. You can do some tricks. I understand LiDAR also is going to come also on the Android / whatever, Microsoft, if you want to go on the desktop. So LiDAR is going to come, that's for sure. And on top of that, we're going to have all those optimizations, different way of doing 3D, Gaussian splatting, and any other formats, which look like they are far more easy to implement them, like Luma AI. With Luma AI, you make a video, you send it to them, and they send you back the 3D. So that's super cool. Unfortunately, we kind of reach the end of our discussion, but I will let Robin to have the final words if you want. Robin, I really appreciate.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, not to put you on the spot, but I know you do super cool stuff, so I just want to make sure you can present more on your side.
Well, I just want to thank you so much for having me, Sandhu, and for everybody's contributions. It was a lovely time, and I want to thank all the attendees as well.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Thanks for the people in the audience. Definitely thanks for the people here on the stage. I will post the audio record in the comments, and definitely we're going to see it next week. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. Keep in touch.
Can I say one closing thing?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
For anyone on the audience right now, I mean, if you guys are not using ChatGTP on the daily, you're not helping yourself. Because honestly, I find it, I can't afford an assistant, but I can afford a digital assistant. And what you can do with ChatGTP on your own, it's not replacing anything that you do, it's just only enhancing your own abilities. So, having those conversations with yourself and really pushing what that software can do and those tools. I mean, anyone that's here has some interest in AI, I can only strongly push you to kind of see what you could do with ChatGTP on the daily.
Yeah, and there will be
it does my menus.
No, cool, and there will be also some open sources to Baby GPT as well. It's an example, but yes, exciting stuff. We'll discuss it next week, no doubt about it. All right, thank you very much again. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Sandhu,
everyone.
Robin, Michael, everyone.
Bye.
Yes.